Ladies and gentlemen, a major announcement was dropped this evening on Twitter during Monday Night Raw and the Superstar Shakeup. News that is better than anything that we've seen on Monday Night Raw for the Superstar Shakeup. I am happy to announce that this coming July, Extreme Rules Weekend, I will be making my first appearance ever in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area. Extreme Rules Weekend, I am happy to announce I'll be in Pittsburgh, PA, hosting a live, off-the-script, and a meet-and-greet party at the beautiful rooftop bar, Terrace on 5th. It's above Buford's Kitchen, right across from where Extreme Rules will be held at the PPG Paints Arena. Completely sponsored by my friends over at WrestleRumble.com. Live off the script with me and a pre-party prior to Extreme Rules on July 15th at Terrace on 5th, the largest outdoor lounge and penthouse bar in Pittsburgh. Man, that sounds like JD to the T, bro. Located on the top floor of Buford's Kitchen, directly across from the PPG Paints Arena, courtesy of WrestleRumble.com, Off the Script, and Wrestle Rumble Meetup. This event will be the night before Extreme Rules at Las Vegas Mexican Restaurant in Market Square in downtown Pittsburgh. This is free to attend. So we're having a pre-party on Saturday where 2 lucky individuals will be with me and the entire group of Wrestle Rumble having dinner and drinks at Las Vegas Mexican Restaurant. There'll be off-the-script type deals as far as drinks and food, off-the-script specials. It's going to be great. And then Sunday, we're going to have a pre-party. And then during the show, we're going to do a live Q&A off the script. We're going to head to Extreme Rules. Afterwards, we may do a post-show. We're not really sure yet. But we'll be back, I believe, probably at the same place at Terrace on 5th for a post-party. We'll be discussing the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. And we're going to be drinking and having fun. And it's going to be a fucking blast, man. So if you guys are in the Pittsburgh, PA area, Extreme Rules Weekend, I hope to see many of you out there. This is my first legit meet and greet outside of New York City. So I hope to see you guys out there, and we'll have a good time. I promise you that. If you guys missed anything as of today, as far as content goes, we did an off-the-script extra on the channel where we discussed the whole John Cena-Nikki Bella relationship ending after 6 years. We also talked about the Superstar Shakeup. I gave you my thoughts on the Shakeup pre-Monday Night Raw. And we talked about WWE getting ready to scout female talent for the 2nd annual Mae Young Classic. So if you guys missed that video, link will be in the annotation you see within this video in the top right corner. Monday Night Raw, man. Monday Night Raw. I told you it was going to be disappointing. I told you it was going to be disappointing, man. Let me go over the individuals that have been moved from SmackDown Live to Monday Night Raw. And you tell me if Monday Night Raw is any better than they were before this shakeup. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, obviously the 2 biggest names that were moved. They were no longer a part of SmackDown Live after they lost to Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon at WrestleMania. They were pretty much out of a job. So the fact that Monday Night Raw picked up Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, and the way that they picked up Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens was absolutely brilliant. We'll go over it when we talk about the Miz TV segment. The first time in a very long time that WWE had storyline continuation with certain superstars, and it actually was fucking great. Jinder Mahal. I don't know how any of you guys feel about this. You guys know how I feel about it. Having him moved off SmackDown Live makes SmackDown Live that much better. moving him to Monday Night Raw makes Monday Night Raw that much worse. So I don't know how this is an ideal pickup for any brand in WWE. Dolph Ziggler was moved from SmackDown Live to Monday Night Raw. Now, you guys know the rumors of Dolph Ziggler and him, signing a new deal, and then he didn't sign a new deal, and the question marks of if he's going to re-sign a new deal legitimately. All this speculation and rumor around Dolph Ziggler. So when he came out, it was moan and groan, bitch and complain. And then when he was interrupted by Titus Catering tonight, Apollo Crews, who apparently has another name change, or calling him Apollo Crews yet again, Apollo Crews, Dana Brooke, and Titus O'Neil interrupted Dolph Ziggler. But Dolph Ziggler did not come alone. Drew McIntyre, the former NXT champion, is back from injury after a torn bicep. He looks absolutely phenomenal. They are now pairing Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre together on Monday Night Raw. I will talk about this as we get on with the review. If Dolph Ziggler wants to become relevant, this pairing might do it. But there is also the head scratch moment of the night where we all figured that Drew McIntyre was going to be a solo act. None of us thought that WWE was going to pair him with anybody, let alone a Dolph Ziggler. Drew McIntyre is good enough to be on his own. But if WWE's mindset, like I told you that they should, going into this, is to fix and remedy the tag team division, if Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler are actually going to be a pairing, then good on them. And good for the WWE for acknowledging what needs to be done for the tag team division. But all of us, I think, are in agreement that Drew McIntyre could be a legit solo act and good enough to be on his own. But I'm happy to see Drew McIntyre back. Again, we'll discuss it as we get on with this review. Baron Corbin, not really a game changer. He moved over from SmackDown Live to Monday Night Raw. He wasn't doing anything of substance on SmackDown Live, so I really don't expect him to do anything on Monday Night Raw. But there was a rumor going around this weekend that Vince McMahon is said to be very high on Baron Corbin. So Vince McMahon might have pulled the trigger, and those rumors may indeed be a reality, and Baron Corbin may be getting a decent push. Probably the best push of his career thus far, being that he was moved over to Monday Night Raw and is a fan favorite of Vince McMahon. Bobby Roode moved over from SmackDown Live to Monday Night Raw. Not really something that I was excited about. I should be excited about it, but WWE has really ruined Bobby Roode for the short amount of time he's been on the main roster. This move to Monday Night Raw needs to end one way and one way only. If Bobby Roode doesn't turn heel, this is a major, major fuck-up. Bobby Roode needs to be a heel. So hopefully a move over to Monday Night Raw not only changes scenery for Bobby Roode, but it changes babyface Bobby Roode to what we've seen in NXT Bobby Roode. That's what needs to happen. And hopefully a move to Monday Night Raw does that. Obviously, the Singh brothers, Sunil Singh is the only healthy Singh brother, so obviously he'll be paired with Jinder Mahal. The Riot Squad. They moved the Riot Squad from SmackDown Live to Monday Night Raw. Now, I don't know who in creative thought of this, or who in WWE management thought this was a good idea. The Riot Squad didn't do anything on SmackDown Live, so what do you really expect them to do on Monday Night Raw? And then, better yet, here's a better one for you. WWE introduces the Riot Squad by interrupting a Bayley and Sasha Banks match that I legitimately wanted to see have a clean finish and some sort of continuation. So not only did Absolution ruin the storyline of Bayley and Sasha Banks, or try and get involved, now we got the Riot Squad interrupting Bayley and Sasha Banks. So it looks like, to me, from the outside looking in, that the feud for Sasha Banks and Bayley is pretty much not doing anything for either of those women, but they're trying to enhance Absolution and the Riot Squad through Bayley and Sasha Banks. I don't understand that whatsoever. The Riot Squad did nothing on SmackDown Live. I expect them to do nothing on Monday Night Raw. The only one I care about in the Riot Squad is Ruby Riott. That's it. As far as a stable, as far as a group, I don't give a shit about the Riot Squad. And I don't think they will factor into anything on Monday Night Raw. Natalya moved over to Monday Night Raw from SmackDown Live. She was a heel on SmackDown Live, and all of a sudden, WWE tends to think we forgot of Natalya's allegiances on SmackDown Live. So all of a sudden, now she's a babyface, and she's trying to befriend Ronda Rousey on night one. You know, WWE, please don't take your fans to be fucking stupid. We seen Natalya be a heel for the majority of her run on SmackDown Live. Now, all of a sudden, because she changes brands, you expect us to think that she's turned over a new leaf? Come on, bro. Are we that fucking stupid? I'm happy to see Natalya get a fresh start, but at least keep her the way she was on SmackDown Live, and don't pretend that, you know, whatever she did on SmackDown Live didn't happen. But again, we'll talk about Natalya and her, you know, inevitable return to being a heel, because what we've seen with Ronda Rousey obviously is a stepping stone to get Natalya some massive heat in the women's division. Tyler Breeze and Fandango, the Fashion Police on Monday Night Raw. I don't see how this is going to make a difference. I don't see how this is going to enhance the tag team division on Monday Night Raw. This is exactly what I was afraid of before the draft or the Superstar Shakeup took place. I knew guys like this were going to be moved from SmackDown to Raw. But it's very difficult for me to get excited about the Fashion Police when the majority of their time in 2017 was spent fucking eating cake in Titus Catering on SmackDown Live. Now, all of a sudden, because they moved to Monday Night Raw, you want me to be excited about the Fashion Police because you put them in a match with the Bar and they got a fluke victory in 3 minutes over the Bar? You expect me to believe the Fashion Police are going to be in the running for the Tag Team Championships? All I have to say is this. If this is a move that you're going to be talking about and you're going to be pushing on television, at least make the Fashion Police believable and use them in a serious way. Otherwise, don't waste my fucking time. This is ridiculous. Nobody took them seriously on SmackDown Live, and like I said on Off the Script this weekend, there's no reason for us to believe that anything is going to change because they switched to Monday Night Raw. Same thing with the Ascension. Connor and Victor moved from SmackDown Live to Monday Night Raw. How many matches did they have on SmackDown Live last year going into 2018? How many? I can't even count on one fucking hand. So this is a waste of a move as far as the shakeup goes. This will shake up nothing as far as the Ascension goes. You're trading bum teams. You're trading scrub players for scrub players. This is what you're telling me with this shakeup. Mojo Rawley moved from SmackDown Live to Monday Night Raw. Who gives a shit? Is he going to be an Impact player? No. He didn't do anything on SmackDown Live. He ain't going to do anything on Monday Night Raw. You're just moving him to even out the roster numbers. That's all you're doing with that. Same thing with Mike Kanellis. Mike Kanellis was moved from SmackDown Live to Monday Night Raw. I want to see anybody watching this fucking program on a week-to-week basis that even knows who Mike Kanellis is. Better yet, do you care about Mike Kanellis? Did Mike Kanellis show up after his feud with Sami Zayn on Monday on SmackDown Live? Of course not. This move will do nothing. He will be on Superstars for the majority of his run on Monday Night Raw. Zack Ryder moved from SmackDown Live to Monday Night Raw. Please, let me fucking yawn and go to sleep with that move. That will do nothing for Monday Night Raw. That, Mojo Rawley, Connor Victor, and Mike Kanellis were all named on WWE.com during the show. They didn't even give them the benefit of TV time to really present themselves in front of the live audience. So, you know, just based on that fact alone, you had Zack Ryder, Mojo Rawley, Connor Victor, and Mike Kanellis not even announced on the fucking show. Not even announced on the show. So just take that little aspect of it. Do you expect anything from them on live television going into 2018 if WWE can't give them a decent amount of time to get their name out there and get some excitement around them switching brands? Of course not. Please. Whoever's watching me this weekend on Off the Script, everything that I told you just pretty much came to fruition in this list of moves from SmackDown to Monday Night Raw. Now, SmackDown Live does get one name. They do get one name on this night. The Miz is moved over to SmackDown Live from Monday Night Raw without the Miz-tourage. So we have Axel and Dallas now by themselves without the Miz, and the Miz is alone on SmackDown Live. And I like the fact that the Miz is going back to SmackDown Live. We will talk about that as the review goes on here tonight with Monday Night Raw review. Very, very surprising to see Charlotte not in this list of WWE superstars. Now, if WWE had every intention of moving Charlotte, you know with Charlotte, they would have announced her and had her presented on television. If Charlotte is moving to Monday Night Raw from SmackDown Live, she will not be a name. I doubt it. I don't know why you would save it for online, because WWE continued to say that the shakeup will continue on through the night and through SmackDown Live. So there's still going to be more names moving to Monday Night Raw throughout the night and going on into SmackDown Live. I don't know why, they did not mention Charlotte tonight and present her on Monday Night Raw, unless they're saving it for SmackDown Live. I really don't understand that logic. But if they don't move Charlotte at all, this entire situation with Asuka and Carmella gets even more retarded and makes even less sense than it does now. Because the whole idea of taking the title off of Charlotte was to move her to Monday Night Raw, to position her for the year, to get her ready for Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania 35. And if that's not done, then A, I don't know why you took the title off of Charlotte, and B, better yet, I don't even know why you defeated Asuka at WrestleMania. I don't know what WWE's planning to do, but they got one more night to make it right. If Charlotte doesn't move over to Monday Night Raw, which everybody expected it, then none of this makes sense. And it makes everything that they did in the last week and a half look that much more stupid. I'm surprised we didn't get Becky Lynch on Monday Night Raw. She was another one that I figured would move over to Monday Night Raw. I'm surprised we didn't get the Usos. I'm surprised we didn't get the New Day. Maybe these teams will be moved during the night, early into the morning, going into SmackDown Live. We don't know, but those names are big enough to the point where they should have been presented on television. I don't know what WWE is doing. The vibe I got from Monday Night Raw tonight was one that was not planned. I knew that they would do the same shit that they did with the last shakeup. It feels like WWE was booking this on the fly. None of these moves were overly exciting besides Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre. I didn't give a shit about any of these people moving over to Monday Night Raw. I think Monday Night Raw actually got the worst of SmackDown Live's leftovers. That's what I think. I think they took the remaining fat, the garbage from SmackDown Live, and Monday Night Raw actually got worse than where they were before the shakeup. That's my honest opinion so far right now. We'll see what SmackDown Live does. I have hope that SmackDown Live is going to end up being the benefactor of this shakeup. But I knew WWE would go into this unplanned. I knew WWE would go into this with this type of mentality and feeling that it was booked on the fly. They didn't have any solid plans. They got the greatest Roman Rumble coming up. They got Backlash coming up that they're proclaiming is the first ever dual-branded pay-per-view. They actually have this on the graphic. The first ever dual-branded pay-per-view. So I'm sitting there and I'm rolling my eyes in the back of my head like the fucking Undertaker. What the fuck do you call Survivor Series? What do you call Royal Rumble? You just had one at WrestleMania. Now all of a sudden Backlash is the first ever dual-branded pay-per-view. And then on top of that, they add some cringe soundtrack with WWE superstars in the music studio singing the theme. If you want to cringe, the most you've ever cringed in 2018, then go and watch that commercial for Backlash. Absolutely god-awful. I wanted to fucking absolutely reach for my remote and shut Raw off during the commercial that we had to sit and watch and endure. And in the commercial, Carmella stopped the song to tell everybody she's out of breath, drink a bottle of water, and then resume the theme song. I was like, oh my fucking god, I don't believe they made this actually fucking worse than what we're actually hearing. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But I do have a little, I do have more concerns as we talk about the shakeup, and we will talk about them as we get into the Monday Night Raw review. Now, we head right into the start of the show. Kurt Angle obviously starts off Monday Night Raw, and I wanted, fuck me for wanting a legit sports-like feel. We didn't see Shane McMahon, we didn't see Paige, we mentioned Daniel Bryan tonight, and he wasn't really there. Kurt Angle mentioned that he still has some political power as far as WWE management goes. But we didn't see the commissioner and general manager of SmackDown Live. And WWE was reporting, they actually tweeted it out, that all of SmackDown Live was backstage at Raw because nobody knew where they were going to end up. So why didn't you give us Paige and Shane McMahon throughout the evening sitting down in an office-like environment going over who they want traded and who's moving where? Why didn't you give me that type of feel? Why does everything got to feel so random? Why does everything got to feel so on the fly? WWE gave us this vibe tonight that, unpredictability reigns supreme. No, I don't want that. I want some sort of planned, I want something thought out. And then people reach out to me on Twitter, do you like anything? No, I want to make sure that, and I want to watch something that's well thought out and planned and has logic behind it. I don't want to watch something that's pieced together as the show's going on, as if WWE's throwing darts at the wall, and pretty much, let's go with Zack Ryder. Where's he going? Bloop. He lands on Raw. Zack Ryder's going to Raw. It was like they were throwing darts at the wall to decide who goes where. Instead of giving us a real sports-like, dual brand separation, brand split type feel. And I don't understand why WWE doesn't embrace the brand split. They got so much star power. This is the most stacked the main roster has ever looked. And they can't give us a special feel when it comes to the brand split. They haven't embraced it since 2016, and they continue to not embrace it going into 2018. I don't believe it. So that is a huge takeaway for me. Anyway, Kurt Angle comes out on Monday Night Raw, and he's interrupted by this man.
The make-believe Maharaja?
Yeah. Interrupted by Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal is the first member of SmackDown Live to join Monday Night Raw. And everybody's like, oh my God, WWE Raw is getting a great heel. Listen, people, don't let anybody at the commentary booth fool you. This actually makes Monday Night Raw a lot worse than they were before the shakeup.
We're going to see some new faces and some big surprises. I promise you that. So without further ado,
whoa. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the newest member to Monday Night Raw, your former WWE champion, your current United States champion, the modern day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal!
Well, you heard it from Sunil Singh himself.
Wow.
The first pick in the Superstar Shakeup. Jinder
I am so excited.
Why was I brought to this arena in an SUV? You know that I only travel in a limousine with a motorcade. Jinder, first let me formally welcome you to Monday Night Raw. And we never agreed on a limo. Kurt, you brought me to Raw fully knowing my expectations. I already proved that I was better than any superstar on SmackDown Live. And I'm already better than any superstar that you have on Raw. I don't know about that. You're a tremendous competitor, but I don't think... Kurt, this is my kingdom. And I expect the same perks that you give your other champion, Brock Lesnar. Why don't you email me your list of demands?
Whoa. That's a great idea, Kurt. What's your email address? What's your email address?
You want my email address?
Yeah. What's your email? I'm ready when you are.
All right. It's Kurt.Angle, A-N-G-L-E, at nofreakingway.com.
So fucking lame.
I don't know how they do things on SmackDown, but here on Raw, we settle it in the ring. So if you think you're better than everyone else, then prove it. Kurt. I don't just think it. I know it. Well, then it's settled. The Raw superstars are ready to compete. Who wants to prove Jinder Mahal wrong? Listen. Now's your chance. Because Jinder will be defending the United States Championship right now.
I like it. This is completely unfair.
So Jinder comes
Maharaja.
out. He's the first
He came out and he said, hey,
superstar announced for the shakeup.
I'm better on everybody on Raw. It's so let's have it.
And he's set to defend the title on Raw tonight.
Provide the limousine and motorcade that Jinder Mahal deserves.
And everybody goes crazy at his first opponent.
That's a good point.
If you're Jinder Mahal, your reaction's gotta be, oh no.
So Jeff Hardy challenged Jinder Mahal for the United States Championship tonight on Monday Night Raw. Now, everybody says that I'm always negative and I don't give, the proper criticisms. I don't give people credit where credit is due. I will say this, and being that it's night one, I don't expect this to continue on for the duration on Monday Night Raw. It will go back to what it was on SmackDown Live. Tonight, Jinder Mahal got good heel heat. And the reason why he got good heel heat is because he came off as a condescending, undeserved prick, one. And number two, the majority of why he got good heel heat was because he went against an overly crowd favorite in Jeff Hardy. So when you put someone like Jeff Hardy in the ring with Jinder Mahal, you're going to get that type of reaction that, is warranted for Jinder's type of character. Most of what Jinder got on SmackDown Live was, fuck you, go away heat, I don't want to see you. And the fact that WWE gave him Randy Orton. And the fact that WWE was feeding Jinder Mahal the likes of Shinsuke Nakamura. That's not really what we want to see. So the fact of the shakeup now introducing Jinder Mahal to a new audience and a new brand and putting him in the ring with someone like Jeff Hardy, who's one of the most over superstars in the entire company, it did Jinder good tonight. Now, what I hope WWE does here, my main concern is thinking ahead. And when I watch things like this, I always think ahead. My first question when this match was over, Jeff Hardy became the new United States champion. Great. Okay, it was a decent match. It wasn't anything that's going to fucking burn the house down. Jinder played a good heel. He dominated the match. He grounded Jeff. Jeff came back late with his babyface type offense. He hit the swanton. He won the title. Simple as that. There was nothing else to the match. It was a very fundamental babyface versus heel dynamic for the title. Babyface makes the comeback at the end, hits the big aerial maneuvers that gets the crowd to pop, and Jeff Hardy's the new United States champion. My main concern was what is going to happen with Backlash. Now, if you guys recall, Randy Orton beat Rusev and Bobby Roode in a triple threat match on SmackDown Live. Okay, Jinder was the United States champion. He was set to defend against Randy Orton at Backlash. Now, the United States Championship is on Monday Night Raw now, okay? My first thought was, or everybody's first thought was, in fact, okay, Jinder's moving to Monday Night Raw. He's defending the title against Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy's on Raw. He just beat Jinder Mahal for the title. So now Monday Night Raw has the United States Championship and the Intercontinental Championship. Everybody's impression was that, okay, now Seth Rollins is going to be moved over to SmackDown Live. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's going to happen. the Greatest Royal Rumble is not an actual WWE pay-per-view. This is one of those dual-branded events where none of those rules really apply. It's a special event on a random night of the week. It's a one-time deal, and WWE's putting on this big show for the Saudi Arabia crowd as the first time ever, or for the first time ever. It's not going to apply to regular WWE rules and regulations as far as, you know, brand split and pay-per-views. It's one of those one-off events where none of those rules really apply. Everybody thinks Seth Rollins is moving over to SmackDown Live. So my logic here is, being that Jinder has already invoked his United States Championship clause, rematch clause, against Jeff Hardy in Saudi Arabia, like I said, the rules don't apply. Seth Rollins is staying on Monday Night Raw. I think the IC title stays on Monday Night Raw, and I think Jeff Hardy is the one to be moved over to SmackDown Live. Jeff Hardy with the United States Championship is going to SmackDown Live, and I think we're going to get Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton at Backlash. That sounds a lot more intriguing than Jinder Mahal versus Randy Orton for the United States Championship. Now, that's a match I can get behind, and it instantly makes me intrigued for what they can do with the United States Championship on Monday Night Raw, or on SmackDown Live. So I think that's indeed what's going to happen. I think Jeff Hardy is going to be moved to SmackDown Live, and Seth Rollins isn't moving anywhere. And another reason why I don't think Seth Rollins is moving anywhere is because WWE has a, you know, I think it's in the top 3, or it's got to be in the top 5 at least. You know, they just printed brand new t-shirts for Seth Rollins, Monday Night Rollins. WWE's going to have a lot of t-shirts left over with Monday Night Rollins if they move Seth Rollins over to Tuesday night. You know, Monday Night Rollins sounds a lot better than Tuesday Night Rollins. So I think Seth Rollins stays on Monday Night Raw, and the Intercontinental Championship stays right where it is. Now, Seth Rollins staying on Monday Night Raw definitely presents, you know, a new slew of opponents for Seth Rollins. Now, with the shakeup here, you know, you can have Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn go after Seth Rollins. You can have Dolph Ziggler go after Seth Rollins. Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. Baron Corbin and Seth Rollins. A heel Bobby Roode versus Seth Rollins. So, Seth Rollins is going to have some fun over on Monday Night Raw with a slew of new faces to defend that Intercontinental title against. So, I like that aspect of it. I hope WWE is thinking the same way. Jeff Hardy's going to SmackDown Live, and Seth Rollins is staying on Monday Night Raw, is my prediction for SmackDown Live tomorrow night. Jeff Hardy is your new United States Champion for the time being. He defeated Jinder Mahal with a Swanton Bomb. We have Renee Young approaching Jinder Mahal backstage. Jinder is not happy. He accuses Jeff Hardy and Kurt Angle of running a conspiracy by bringing him to Raw. Jinder reveals that he's getting his rematch. He is invoking his rematch clause on April 27th, Saudi Arabia at the Greatest Royal Rumble. Jinder keeps speaking, but we can't hear him because No Way Jose is in the background with his theme music playing very loudly, and he starts dancing towards Jinder Mahal. Jose starts dancing through the back with his conga line. He stops at Jinder and Renee, taunting Jinder with positivity. Jinder fumes as Jose dances away with Renee, ruining Jinder's interview. So, if we try to read between the lines here, it looks like Jinder Mahal has his first feud coming up with No Way Jose on Monday Night Raw. Not really something that I'm all that intrigued by, but if it helps get Jose over, then God bless him. Bayley versus Sasha Banks. I definitely thought, we could still see it. So we could definitely still see it come SmackDown Live tomorrow night. I'm definitely predicting that one of these two women is moving to SmackDown Live. That's the reason why we got this match tonight. Sasha Banks and Bayley, I will say this about this match. I loved what they did. There was one minor botch in the ring. Bayley went up to the second turnbuckle and slipped and fell off. But Corey Graves, I think, did a great job at selling the fact that the emotion of Bayley in this match and, you know, the adrenaline rushing through her got her nervous and excited, and she was just a ball of emotion. So, you know, she got a a ton running through her mind. Corey Graves saved what was a notable botch in the match, so good on him, and that's why I love Corey Graves so much for the job that he does at color commentary, man. That's exactly what you got to do. He was quick, and he came up with a very, very good reason as to why she was, falling off the second turnbuckle. There was a moment in this match that I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, this is exactly what we need to see, man. There was a moment in the match where Sasha Banks and Bayley were slapping the fucking shit out of one another. And they went back and forth. I thought the referee was going to call for a no contest at that point. Sasha Banks backed Bayley into the corner. She was kicking her and punching her, slapping her. And then she delivered that double knee, running double knees like Andrade Cien Almas does to Bayley. And I'm thinking, and I'm watching this, I'm like, this is exactly what we needed for the Raw Women's Championship. That intensity showed by Bayley and Sasha Banks in that little exchange was better than anything we've seen at WrestleMania with Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax. And I still wonder to this day why this match was passed over for Total Divas rehash garbage with Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss. That one moment was better than anything that Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax produced at WrestleMania. And I don't really care what anybody has to say. So this match went to a no contest. Banks kicks Bayley in the corner, delivers knees to the face, like I said. Sasha rolls through and applies the Banks statement. All of a sudden, before Bayley looked to be tapping, the Riot Squad hits the ring, comes out of nowhere, and the referee calls for the bell. No contest because they beat up both Bayley and Sasha Banks. After the match, Bayley and Banks are triple teamed by Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, and Ruby Riott. They take care of both. The Riot Squad stand tall over both Sasha Banks and Bayley as their music hits on Monday Night Raw. Again, a move that I am not intrigued by whatsoever. They didn't do anything on SmackDown Live, and they're not going to do anything on Monday Night Raw. Now, Ruby Riott has the ability and the potential to be a breakout female in the women's division. She is very good. She showcased that she can cut a promo, and she's very good in the ring because she had a very good match with Charlotte the last time Charlotte defended the title on pay-per-view before Asuka. I believe it was at Fastlane. I wish that they would break Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan up and give them their own identity. The same thing with Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, which we'll talk about when we get to their segment on the show. I don't really like this group. I don't think they're going to do anything, and I don't like the fact that Absolution was introduced the same way, against Bayley and Sasha Banks. And I don't like that WWE, again, used Bayley and Sasha Banks to introduce the Raw crowd and the Raw audience to the Riot Squad. Nobody gives a shit about the Riot Squad. Nobody will care about the Riot Squad. I hope that WWE has some sort of plan for these women because they were on SmackDown Live for 3 months and they went nowhere. Do you expect anything different on Monday Night Raw? This is exactly what I talked about on Off the Script. You think because certain people and certain females and certain men are going to be switching brands that they're going to be booked differently on Raw than they were on SmackDown and vice versa? No. They're going to be booked the same exact way and they're going to feel just as unimportant as they were on their other brand previously. This is not a move that's going to enhance the Raw Women's Division. In fact, this makes the Raw Women's Division worse at the end of the fucking shakeup. And I don't like the fact, again, that Sasha Banks and Bayley were used as stepping stones, or their feud was used as stepping stones to get the Riot Squad over. Come on, man. Sasha Banks and Bayley deserve a lot better than that. And I hope Sasha Banks moves over to SmackDown Live. She needs a change of scenery badly. More than anybody. So does Bayley. The Authors of Pain versus Rhino and Slater. If you guys seen it last week, it was more of the same. Last chapter for the win. I don't like the fact that the Authors of Pain are without Paul Ellering. It just looks weird. Something that I'm going to have to get used to. But the Authors of Pain got a decent pop. They got a decent pop tonight from Hartford, Connecticut. And I'm expecting big things from the Authors of Pain on Monday Night Raw. What else do we got here, man? Miz TV. Miz TV. This was probably the best segment of the entire show. The best segment of Monday Night Raw. The Miz was set to introduce a superstar. We didn't know who it was. He said a superstar that would change the landscape of Monday Night Raw for the rest of the year. We didn't know who it was. It could have been an NXT superstar. It could have been Almas. It could have been the rumored Velveteen Dream. It could have been Drew McIntyre. So The Miz comes out with Axel and Dallas, and he introduces not one, but two superstars who I think are going to fare very well on Monday Night Raw.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the newest members of Monday Night Raw. Get up out of your seats for Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Wow. This is big time.
As far as I know, Miz, you don't have any control around here. I do. Kevin and Sami had their opportunity to make it on the Raw last week, and they both lost.
Yeah. About that, Kurt, see, there's an email that was just sent a few minutes ago that you should probably be aware of, and look, to sum up, plans have changed.
Yeah, and you know what, Kurt? I'll spare you having to get your little phone out and read the email, actually. Do you mind? Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Not a problem, bud.
Sami Zayn has the Miz hold the microphone as he puts these old man glasses on.
He wears glasses?
He's clearing his throat.
Kurt. In light of recent events and your proclivity for making emotionally motivated decisions, I have no choice but to re-examine your handling of the situation regarding Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Last week, Sami and Kevin proved they belong on Raw, and to let them walk away would be a mistake of epic proportions. Therefore, I am hereby overruling your decision and officially awarding Raw contracts to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Warmest regards, Stephanie McMahon.
What? Did you say Stephanie McMahon?
Yep.
As in Commissioner of Raw and Kurt Angle's boss, Stephanie McMahon?
Yep.
So what you're saying is that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are officially back on Monday Night Raw, and there's nothing Kurt Angle can do about it!
Sami and Kevin, welcome to Monday Night Raw. Say goodbye to The Miz.
This is great.
Oh,
this is great.
That's why I came out here. I just got a call from Shane McMahon and Paige, and they told me that the former general manager, Daniel Bryan, was very adamant about getting you on SmackDown. I guess he's still has pull over
Storyline
there.
continuation, man. I love it.
Do you have any idea? You have just made SmackDown Live go from the clear-cut B show to the show of WWE. The Miz, Taraj, and I will do exactly what we did here on Monday Night Raw. Shut your mouths. We will do exactly what we did. We will make SmackDown Live the most must-see television of all time. Shut up.
Whoa. Who said we? The Miz, Taraj isn't going anywhere. They're staying. You're going.
Oh, shit. Man, that was fantastic, man. That was a home run segment for WWE, man. That was one of the few things on this show that I legitimately enjoyed. Sami Zayn is a fucking national treasure, man. Sami Zayn is so fucking fantastic at what he's doing right now, man. I love it. I absolutely love it. He's having a blast. His character has just fucking come out of its shell over the last few months of him pairing with Kevin Owens. They don't sound forced. They don't sound manufactured. They don't sound robotic. They sound genuine and real. Sami Zayn and the work that he has done, man, from when we seen him and we all wanted him to get a push and we were all clamoring for Sami Zayn to get what he deserved. He's getting what he deserves, man. He's got a prime role on Monday Night Raw, and he's doing the best work of his fucking life in WWE right now. It is absolutely a fucking sight to behold. I absolutely love it, and I have nothing but compliments for the job that he has done and the character that he's played and portrayed on Monday Night Raw, man. Beautiful stuff. Gotta give it to WWE for the storyline continuation. Miz moves over to SmackDown Live to continue the feud with Daniel Bryan all by himself. It makes me wonder if the Miz is going to find a new Miz-tourage. And the idea that several other people in the community have pitched, could be coming to fruition. Money in the Bank, coming this summer. Could we see The Miz win Money in the Bank and cash in and become the WWE Champion? Could we be headed towards a Daniel Bryan-Miz championship match at the end of this thing when all is said and done, man? Whether we get a championship match or not, I'm just glad that the WWE has, given us continuation to something that we all wanted to see have a conclusion with Daniel Bryan and The Miz. Now, what do I think happens with Axel and Dallas? You're not going to keep them in the tag team division because they're going to go nowhere on their own. When they were paired with The Miz, they were somebody. On their own, I love Curtis Axel. I've praised Curtis Axel up and down until I'm blue in the face. I would have loved to see Curtis Axel as a prime heel in the mid-card, taking after his father, going for the IC title. I would have loved to see that, and I don't want to sound like that. I don't want to sound like a broken record again and tell you how great Axel could be on his own. He's inevitably paired with Bo Dallas. That's the way it is, and I don't think WWE is going to change that. They're not going to have a stance in the tag team division on their own. They're going to need to be paired with somebody else. The only person that I could see benefiting from Axel and Dallas and have it make sense is Elias. So we're going to go from the Miz-tourage and having Axel and Dallas be, extras of the A-lister to Axel and Dallas being roadies for Elias. They're going to be a traveling act. I could see WWE pairing Axel and Dallas with Elias on Monday Night Raw, giving Elias a heads up and a step above the competition. And again, I think Elias could factor into some mid-card gold at the end of 2018. But this segment did a lot. This segment was a home run for WWE on Monday Night Raw, and I absolutely loved it. Great shit from everybody involved there, and I love the storyline continuation with Daniel Bryan and The Miz. Revival versus Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. The winner of this goes on to fight The Bar at the Greatest Roman Rumble. My one complaint about this is something that I hope WWE changes and works on. If your plan is to keep Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt together for the foreseeable future, I hope that they get some sort of cohesive music together. I do not like, in most cases, this doesn't work. In a very rare instance, does it work? Sheamus and Cesaro were two singles wrestlers before they were fused together. The mixture of their theme musics work. Bray Wyatt's theme music and Matt Hardy's theme music don't go together whatsoever. You either come out with Matt Hardy's theme music, which is better than Bray Wyatt's theme music because it fits both of them, or you have a new theme song cohesively made for both of them so they actually look and sound like a legit tag team. Because whatever they did on Monday Night Raw was completely fucking garbage. They came out with Matt Hardy's theme song. It went into an arena full of darkness with the fireflies coming out and Bray Wyatt holding the lantern. And then when they got into the ring, they replayed Matt Hardy's theme music and they started doing delete. You can't go from Matt's to Bray's to Matt's. That's fucking ridiculous, man. That's sloppy, and it just comes off as this is a makeshift, tag team that's not supposed to be taken seriously. That's just the way I feel about that. And I'm very picky when it comes to that type of shit. I really am. And I hope WWE fixes that. The Revival, I hope they get moved to SmackDown Live tomorrow. God forbid, they stay on Monday Night Raw. They need a change of scenery. They are going nowhere and nowhere fast on Monday Night Raw. Revival needs to be moved to SmackDown Live. Hopefully we see them on SmackDown Live tomorrow. Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt win. They end up with the finish here. Sister Abigail for the victory here on the Revival. They're going to fight The Bar for the tag team championships. And I do think Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy are going to become the new tag team champions. I do think The Bar is going to move over to SmackDown Live as well. So we could very well see the teams like the Usos and the New Day be moved over to Monday Night Raw and we get the Revival. Even Gallows and Anderson need to move over there, man. Gallows and Anderson. That's why I think they paired Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre together. They may be a tag team, man. They may be a force to be reckoned with in the tag team division. In fact, I said it on SmackDown. I said it on Twitter as well during the show. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are on Monday Night Raw. I would keep them together as a tag team and make them a formidable force in the tag team division. We all know that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn can do the singles thing. But if you have them together in the tag team division and you have them doing the singles thing, man, that tag team division is fucking great. You have to keep them together and you have to keep them as a unit in the tag team division. That's exactly what I do with them. They are brilliant together. And it would offset moves like that. Bring the Usos to Raw. Bring the New Day to Raw. Move the Revival. Move the Club. You know, move teams like that over to SmackDown Live. Move the Bar over to SmackDown Live. You're going to offset that by the inclusion of Ziggler and McIntyre and Owens and Zayn. So WWE could definitely do that if they want to do, and I hope that's the route that they go. But the Revival definitely needs to move over to SmackDown Live because they need a change of scenery badly after a complete disaster of a year in 2017, and it's not looking any better in 2018. We have the Bar backstage. They walk up to Breezango, who takes shots at what they're wearing. I did laugh at this. You know, I did laugh at Fandango just gyrating. And I laughed at Tyler Breeze, you know, laughing at what they were wearing because they weren't color coordinated and they were handing out tickets. And I think Fandango was like, how much did they fine you for that mohawk? Or something along those lines. It was funny, man. It was really funny. But again, I don't really think Tyler Breeze and Fandango are going to do anything that they didn't do on SmackDown Live. They're going to be treated as a joke on Monday Night Raw. You know, in fact, they're going to be fucking pet food for the authors of pain. That's what they're going to be on Monday Night Raw. We got to look at Ronda Rousey and Stephanie McMahon again, because you know WWE needs to continue hyping that up because it was such a moment at WrestleMania. Angle says Stephanie won't go away quietly as he talks to Ronda Rousey. And there's no telling what she has planned for the shakeup. There's a knock on Angle's office, and in comes Natalya. She and Rousey hug and tell Angle that they trained together. Angle did not know that. Angle praises Natalya and says that she campaigned hard to come to Monday Night Raw. Natalya is excited to prove she's the best there is, was, and ever will be. And maybe the second best now that Rousey is here. Natalya thanks both of them, and everybody leaves smiling. Ember Moon versus Mickie James. Ember Moon wins here with the Eclipse, and my God, did Mickie James sell that Eclipse brilliantly, dude. Holy shit, she made that Eclipse look like $1 million fucking dollars. Ember Moon wins. Not really much to the match. We got, you know, another glimpse of what Ember Moon can do in the ring. Very athletic. She's going to be a major player in the women's division, man. And that Eclipse was picture perfect on Mickie James. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are backstage. They talk about the main event. Sami says they need to focus on taking out Braun Strowman because he's been in the ring with Braun Strowman several times. And they need to take him out as he is the biggest man in the match. Owens is wondering about who this mystery man is. Miz chimes in and asks about working for Shane McMahon and how well he will treat the Miz. Sami asks the Miz to focus on tonight, and he sees the Miztourage just off to the side, not really talking about team strategy. Miz wants his transition to be must-see, so he asks both Axel and Dallas for their undivided attention. Apollo in the ring with Titus O'Neil and Botch. The newest member of Monday Night Raw comes out, Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler confronts Titus worldwide as they interrupted him as he was cutting a promo on how great he is and how great he is in the ring and what he's going to do on Monday Night Raw, blah, blah, blah. The same old bullshit from Dolph Ziggler. But Titus O'Neil comes and gives Ziggler his business card. He wants Ziggler to join Titus Worldwide. And at this point, I'm like, they moved Dolph Ziggler to fucking Monday Night Raw to be paired with Titus Worldwide and feud with fucking Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews. My God, man. Hand me the fucking NyQuil and a pillow already. So all of a sudden, Dolph Ziggler, says, yeah, sure. He's kind of brush off Titus O'Neil. He's like, yeah, this all sounds great. This all sounds great, but I didn't come alone. And all of a sudden, from the backdrop, from behind, Drew McIntyre comes in and beats up both Titus O'Neil and Apollo Crews. So this was definitely a shock. Crowd started to chant McIntyre. Crowd started to chant NXT. This was a great sight to behold. You know, again, I don't like the fact that Drew McIntyre was a babyface in NXT, and all of a sudden, you know, he switches brands, and his role, his character role, is changed with really no explanation. Like, you were a babyface in NXT, so why are you a heel on Monday Night Raw? You know, I don't get where that transition was in between, when he went out and when he returned. You know, I really don't like that open-endedness of it. Well, because you're switching brands, that doesn't mean you're going to change allegiances from babyface to heel. But whatever the case may be, I don't want to write this off immediately. I look at Drew McIntyre, and it's very difficult for anybody to look at Drew McIntyre and not see world champion. The guy looks absolutely fucking phenomenal. He is an absolute fucking beast. Every sense of the fucking word, man, with an exclamation point. He looks unbelievable. He is world championship material. He looks like a guy that if Vince McMahon looked at him, if Vince McMahon can look at Jinder Mahal and look at WWE champion, I don't know how you can look at Drew McIntyre and not say the same thing. I'm being completely fucking honest with you. I think Drew McIntyre has the makings of a top guy, number one guy in WWE. He's a great promo. You know what he can do in the ring. He is physical as anybody in that ring. He is legit as anybody in that ring. And the transformation that we've seen from his time in WWE to the time he went to TNA to when he returned to WWE and what he did in the independent scene, guy is absolutely one of my top favorites in all of WWE, man. A pairing with Dolph Ziggler could definitely benefit and breathe new life into Dolph Ziggler. And again, just like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, if this is a pairing, I say keep them together and let them ride the wave in the tag team division. That Dolph Ziggler could do the singles thing. Drew McIntyre can do the singles thing. This is not a stable, but a group or a pairing that can dominate not only one division, but another division as well. And WWE has that with both Zayn and Owens and McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. And I know a lot of people were talking about it on Twitter. I'm not going to take credit for this, but when I seen, I was thinking the same thing you guys were thinking. If Shawn Michaels and Diesel can win multi-championships in WWF, if Shawn Michaels can win the Intercontinental Championship and then win the Tag Team Championships with Diesel, Dolph Ziggler can win gold, Drew McIntyre can win gold, and collectively they can win Tag Team gold as well. I seen a Shawn Michaels Diesel-esque look to both Ziggler and McIntyre as well, along with you guys on social media. I think that's a great pairing. I'm going to give it a shot because I love Drew McIntyre. This could, like I said, breathe new life into Dolph Ziggler, and I'm hoping for the best here. I really am. I'm just happy to see Drew McIntyre on the main roster, man. The guy is fucking unbelievable looking, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for him on the main roster, man. He can break. Imagine the matches right now with Drew McIntyre. Can you imagine a program with McIntyre and Rollins? Or McIntyre and Reigns? You know, I don't like Roman Reigns. You guys know how I feel about Roman Reigns, but Jesus Christ, man. That's got money written all over it. I think that would be great. I'm very excited to see Drew McIntyre on Monday Night Raw, man. Speaking of Reigns, this was the other best part of Monday Night Raw, man. Man, hand Samoa Joe an Academy Award, bro. Seriously. The guy is fucking, he might be one of the all-time greats on the microphone. Roman Reigns comes out and he's proclaiming that, you know, he's going to walk into Saudi Arabia. He's going to win the Universal Championship. He's going to come back from Saudi Arabia to the U.S. fans, and he's going to be a full-time Universal Champion amongst the people here in North America. Brock Lesnar didn't show up for work again. But being that he wants to complain about Brock Lesnar not showing up for work, Samoa Joe's got another pipe bomb waiting to explode in Roman Reigns' face.
Once again, I'm here, and Brock Lesnar isn't.
Reigns visibly booed tonight. Reigns comes out wearing a gold chain like he's some fucking gangster.
And once again, I'm going to face Brock Lesnar. But it's not going down like it did at WrestleMania because this time we're going to be in a steel cage. And that's exactly where I'm going to leave Brock Lesnar. Trapped in that cage. And then I'm heading back to Monday Night Raw as your full-time Universal Champion. And since tonight is the Superstar Shakeup, I'm gonna go ahead and get this out the way. When I am the Universal
Surprise, surprise.
You come out here and you're so quick to brag about how you show up for work. But you know what? I've noticed something. The one thing that you don't brag about is getting the job done. Because the fact is, you haven't got the job done, and you never will. You see, you talk about this cage match and you say, hey, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna be a champion. But what you fail to understand is you're not getting in the ring with a normal superstar. No, you're getting in there with a beast. One that has beat you not once, not twice, but every time that you stepped into the ring with him.
Why don't you come on down here and let's see what your lazy fat ass can do.
Come on, man. That's a Vince McMahon issue line. Come on, dude. You got Nia Jax sticking up for the fat shaming and want to be a fucking role model
Joe heading
for
to the ring for a
everybody
confrontation
against
with
bullying.
Roode.
But it's okay to fat shame Joe and call him a fucking lazy fat ass, though, right? Must I remind you, it doesn't matter what Joe looks like. Joe is one of the most legit men on the fucking planet when it comes to what he does. Bullshit. Joe is not fat. And I'm sorry to say, you know, there's two men on this roster right now. That's all. Joe kind of teased, you know, being the heel that he is. He advanced to the ring and teased getting the ring with Roman, and then he walks up the ramp, and he takes off his towel. He goes again and says, nah. On my time, I'll see you at Backlash. There's two men on this roster that deserve the Universal Champion well in advance over Roman Reigns. As far as I know, Braun Strowman and Samoa Joe are incredibly over with the crowd and much more well-received than Roman Reigns. You know, Joe is the right Samoan for the job. Roman is a failure. And it's very difficult. I'm telling you right now, I don't give a fuck if Roman wins or Roman loses. You know, it is very difficult to watch Joe, even before he was injured. It's very difficult to watch Joe before he was injured, and when he's come back, he has absolutely been volcanic since his return. It is very difficult to listen to Joe speak and not give this man a Universal Championship run. I'm sorry. If Roman Reigns is going to win the title in Saudi Arabia, he better be dropping that title at Backlash to Samoa Joe. Roman is worth nothing more than a transitional championship run. As far as I'm concerned, Samoa Joe is your uncrowned Universal Champion. I think this is the man that needs the Universal Championship, not Roman Reigns. You know, Samoa Joe is getting the reactions that Roman Reigns should be getting. The guy's a fucking heel, and he comes out, and he's got how many people in this audience tonight? 10,000? Whatever. Chanting Joe as his theme music's going off. Every week. You mean to tell me this guy is not deserving of a championship run the way he's carried himself on the microphone? People are talking about The Miz being world champion based on what he did on the microphone. What the fuck does Samoa Joe deserve? Absolutely 2 pipe bombs against Roman Reigns in back-to-back weeks, man. And it's been absolutely fucking brilliant on Samoa Joe's behalf, man. Mandy Rose versus Natalya. This was a waste of everybody's fucking time. How pathetic is it that Paige is on SmackDown Live and Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville are still coming out to Paige's theme music? That either tells me one of two things. A, WWE creative is that fucking lazy. Or B, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville are moving over to SmackDown Live tomorrow because they were too lazy to change the theme music. And it's an indication that they're just going to be paired on Paige's brand, and Paige is going to pretty much gift them her theme music. So I don't know what that means, but it's ridiculous to see Absolution without Paige, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville coming out to Paige's theme music. This was a waste, man. Very sloppy match. Natalya wins, applies the sharpshooter, quickly taps out. After the match, Natalya stands tall. Deville attacks from behind. Rose and Deville double-team Natalya until the music hits. Out comes Ronda Rousey to a pop. Rousey's theme music hits. She hits the ring. Absolution retreats. Deville enters the ring, and this was fucking awful. Sonya Deville's timing with Ronda Rousey in the ring looked fucking terrible. She got punched quick. Ronda Rousey delivered some fucking quick jabs. I think a punch to the face, punch to the gut. Sonya Deville's timing was completely off. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Ronda Rousey eventually just tackled her down to the mat with some half-assed takedown / spear, and that was that. Rousey then checks on Natalya as Mandy Rose wants nothing to do with Ronda Rousey, and rightfully so, and Ronda Rousey saves Natalya from further beatdown. I can see where this is going. Ronda Rousey is going to need a great female in the ring to guide her in her first feud coming out of WrestleMania. Natalya has been gifted that honor. She is a veteran of her craft, so I'm expecting Natalya to make Ronda Rousey look good. Now, obviously, we're not going to get a babyface Natalya versus a babyface Ronda. I think Natalya is going to inherit some of those SmackDown roots. The old cat lady is going to kind of rear its ugly head again on Monday Night Raw, I hope. Natalya is eventually going to turn. I mean, any fucking simpleton can see this. Natalya is going to eventually turn on Ronda Rousey. The friendship and respect is there. You know, Natalya helped train Ronda Rousey. Natalya then becomes overly jealous of Ronda Rousey and turns on Ronda Rousey, and we get Natalya versus Rousey in her first big singles feud on the main roster with a heel Natalya against a babyface Ronda. That's the way it's going, and obviously you can see where they're going, but just by, you know, watching wrestling, period. I mean, this is Wrestling 101, and you can see that obviously WWE's not going to pair Ronda and Natalya, you know, being both baby faces, and they're not going to put Natalya, or Ronda rather, in the ring with anybody else. You know, they're not going to do a Sasha Banks here, or Bayley, or Mandy Rose, or Sonya Deville. They're going to put someone in there that knows how to work, and that they trust to bring Ronda a great match. Natalya is that woman. Breezango versus The Bar. I'm guessing they paired these two teams off because of the incident that happened earlier in the evening. Breezango wins with a roll-up here. Fandango reaches for a tag, gets knocked off the apron by Sheamus. I believe he got bro-kicked. The Bar double-teams Breeze out of the corner, but somehow he kicks out, and they can't believe it. I thought it was over after that myself. I thought it was over, and Breeze kicked out. I'm like, oh, shit. Fandango pulls Sheamus off the apron as he's going for the tag. Breeze takes advantage and rolls Cesaro up in a small package for the victory and gets the win. So there you go. Breezango wins and defeats The Bar. Jonathan Coachman, who is becoming worse and worse on commentary by the fucking week, you know, stated that, well, this is going to put Breezango in title contention. Yeah, for how long? They're going to get into title contention and then they're going to go right back to catering where they belong. Give me a break. Renee Young is backstage with Elias. She asks him why he's decided to not perform tonight. He calls her Rachel. I don't know why he called her Rachel, but he says he only plays big shows that matter, and Hartford definitely does not matter. He calls Hartford a scumbag town. Elias brings up Bobby Lashley. I'm assuming that's going to be Elias's first feud, you know, or Bobby Lashley's first feud, rather. Sucks that they're feeding him Elias, but whatever. Says Lashley doesn't deserve to be in the same ring as him. Elias says Lashley should sit in the crowd and worship him like everyone else. He wants to give the crowd a concert, but he will give Renee a private concert instead. He eggs it on and says that we don't have, or she said that, you know, we don't have time for a performance, and Elias is cut off by Renee Young, and she ends the segment abruptly as she kicks it back to Michael Cole on commentary. So Elias walks off playing guitar as he's visibly pissed off with Renee Young, or Rachel in this instance. Main event of the evening, seen Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, The Miz, Curtis Axel, and Bo Dallas versus Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman, and Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode was the last man of the evening to make the transition over from SmackDown Live to Monday Night Raw. And the babyfaces end up winning here, giving The Miz a shitty goodbye on his last night on Monday Night Raw. Miz goes for tag to Axel, but the Miztourage end up betraying The Miz. Axel drops off the apron and refuses the tag. Miz can't believe it. Dallas does the same. Miz is shocked. Fans are going crazy. Miz turns around to look at the face of death, a.k.a. Braun Strowman. The Miztourage walks away. Braun spears Miz into the corner, scoops him up for the big running power slam, and Braun covers The Miz for the win. The babyfaces stand tall at the end of Monday Night Raw. Bobby Lashley looked impressive. I will say that. His speed was very impressive. The way he moved in the ring was very impressive. I stick to my guns, man. Give it a few weeks, give it a month or two. Bobby Lashley's going to be getting go-away heat because WWE is going to force Bobby Lashley down our throats, just like they did with Batista, and that backfired when he came back during WrestleMania 30 season. And the same thing's going to happen with Bobby Lashley. They're going to push him so hard that fans are going to reject it. They're not going to really see anything special in Bobby Lashley. Fans are going to be eye-opening or opening their eyes to see Bobby Lashley being pushed immensely by WWE management, and they're going to reject it. And I think Bobby Lashley is going to be one of those guys that is, kind of shit on by the fans because of the way he's been booked. Not because of how, he is in the ring. He may be better. He may be good like you guys are saying. But I don't see anything of Bobby Lashley. I still look at him. I don't see anybody that's going to move the needle on Monday Night Raw. I don't think Bobby Lashley is going to bring in new viewers. He's not that type of guy. And I'm not a fan of Bobby Lashley. It's just me. I'm sticking to that. He's not going to do anything as far as getting anybody interested in Monday Night Raw. But I hope you guys enjoyed this Monday Night Raw review. I don't know what's to come on SmackDown Live. I don't know what's going to happen with the shakeup as far as more names being revealed from SmackDown to Raw. I envision the Usos moving, the New Day, Charlotte. We could still see those moves potentially, but those are big names. And names like that should have been presented on Monday Night Raw. I don't see why WWE would save those names for online. Maybe they save them for SmackDown Live. I have no fucking idea, man. Maybe trades are made during SmackDown Live tomorrow, and we get something on the air. Maybe we get, Charlotte having her last match and then being told that she's moving to Monday Night Raw. Or the Usos having their last match and they're moved to Monday Night Raw, But we'll see what happens. Maybe the Usos don't even move to Monday Night Raw. They're guaranteed a tag team title match against the Bludgeon Brothers, so maybe they don't move. Maybe it's the New Day who moves instead. And maybe they have their last match on SmackDown Live and they're moved to Monday Night Raw. Maybe the New Day's broken up. Maybe they move Big E to Monday Night Raw and keep Xavier and Kofi on SmackDown Live. I don't know. Maybe this is the year that the New Day breaks up. I have no idea, man. It's going to be an interesting SmackDown. But what we got with Monday Night Raw and the names that we got, not many stand out. In fact, I think Monday Night Raw, with McIntyre, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and a hopeful Bobby Roode heel turn, it presents some interesting options for Monday Night Raw. Not something that's going to make the show overly better, but interesting options nonetheless. I think SmackDown Live tomorrow night is going to come out the better of the two brands with this shakeup. I really do. And I'm hoping that is the case when we watch SmackDown Live tomorrow night. But thank you guys so much, man. Hit that thumbs up for the review if you did enjoy it. More news and information will be dropping in the weeks to come for my meet and greet in Pittsburgh. If you guys are in the greater Pittsburgh area, if you guys are in Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, anywhere in Pennsylvania, somewhere in a neighboring town, whatever, come out. And we'll have a really great time for Extreme Rules. I want to make this a fucking yearly thing, And I want to thank my friends over at Wrestle Rumble and Brian Gulish, of Chairshot Reality, a former Chairshot Reality. He used to work with Justin LaBar. He's setting everything up, man. Very, very good people. They appreciate the work that I put in here, and they're inviting me out to spend some time with them and, have fun during Extreme Rules. So it should be good. So if you're in the Pittsburgh area, more information to come, and it's going to be a really, really fun time, man. But thank you guys so much for the Raw review. I will see you guys tomorrow for SmackDown Live. Superstar Shakeup continues. Remember, go watch the Off the Script extra that we posted earlier this afternoon regarding John Cena and Nikki Bella, the Mae Young Classic, and what WWE is doing to scout women for the Mae Young Classic. And my take on the pre-Superstar Shakeup and my thoughts before we headed into Monday Night Raw tonight. So, thank you guys for that. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. And I will see you all for SmackDown Live tomorrow night.